So the day of surgery, which was scheduled for July 1st, required us to be at the hospital at 5:45, which we were. So I went into the pre-op room and got changed into the gown and everything and got prepped for surgery. And I found out that morning that my surgeon had been called into emergency surgery and that there was going to be a slight delay, which was fine. I knew that that could happen. And I also learned that there was a problem with the monitors in the cardiac OR, and that the technicians were working to resolve the problem. My surgeon did peek in and let me know that she thought everything was going to be okay, and that she thought that the technicians could get the problem resolved. Well, around 10 o'clock that morning, she came in again and said, I think we're going to have to postpone. The technicians aren't even here yet. And she said, I think this is just a sign that it wasn't meant to be for today. So, everything was unhooked, everything was removed, and I went home and came back 48 hours later, 15 minutes earlier this time, got prepped and ready for the surgery, and everything was a go that morning. And I was wheeled off into surgery at 7:30. And I distinctly remember the anesthesiologist looking at me and smiling at me, and I don't really remember what he said, something like time for medicine or something, and that was it. I don't remember anything until I woke up in into the cardiac ICU. And after I woke up, it was pretty quick. I came out of the anesthesia fairly quickly. That's what they told me anyway. So I was only on the breathing tube for an hour and 5 minutes before the nurse was actually able to pull it. And so then I was fairly stable, and my family came in, and so I got, kind of like the lowdown at what had gone on in the OR while I was out. Come to find out that all these years I had thought it was a bicuspid aortic valve. It turned out to be a unicuspid aortic valve, which is extremely rare, and I guess something like 0.02% of the population, only 0.02% of the population has it. So I did ask the surgeon if I could keep the valve prior to surgery, and she said, no, we can't do that because we have to send it off to pathology. So, but anyway, it was interesting to find that out. And there were a few, I don't want to say hiccups, but things that I didn't expect were going to happen. The first attempt at hooking up the heart-lung machine didn't really go because something about my artery being too perforated or something, and I lost a little bit of blood. So she had to go into my groin and tried one side and didn't really like that side. So she tried the other side, and that's where they actually hooked up the heart-lung machine into my femoral artery. And from there on, everything went smoothly as far as I know. I did need a transfusion because of the blood loss, but in the end, the surgeon was happy. Everything went okay, and I was awake and alert and talking with my family. I think by around, I want to say around 2 o'clock. And so my daughter stayed for a while, and so my wife was just there, and every hour on the hour they were doing a glucose check plus other vitals checks and everything. And I just remember looking down at my chest and seeing the incision and the two tubes coming out from my chest, and I'm thinking, wow, this really did happen. And so, um, and before the evening ended, before visiting hours were over, and before my wife went home, they did get me up to take a walk, and which was a major kind of endeavor with all of the tubes and IVs and everything that I had running into me and everything. But it was definitely a challenge. I'm not gonna exaggerate, but I did. I walked around the whole floor, and I did have to stop a few times, but I did make it all the way around, and so that was very satisfying. So got back into bed, got everything all arranged and everything, and I don't remember if I had any supper or not. That's kind of that day is kind of vague. Um, so that was the surgery, and so as I said, everything went very well. Quite a surprise, though, finding out that I had a unicuspid valve, which looks, if you look it up, it looks like a fish mouth, but it was never caught on any echocardiogram that I had over the years. So anyhow, so that's for the surgery.